Good morning, this is Paul CHEK, and I just thought I'd share a little bit of the beginning of my day with you here from this beautiful place we refer to as heaven, because it is heaven to us. I often like to start my days by reading one or more of Arnold Patent's Universal Principles. You can find them on the internet if you just search Universal Principles by Arnold M. Patent and Victor R. Beasley, or just Arnold M. Patent. You'll find them. They're very, very excellent, and the words of what I would call an enlightened Westerner, which is maybe rare, but they're there, and this is one of them. And today I thought I would share Universal Principle number 13. Universal Principle number 13 is called Understanding Body or Physical Signals, and it reads as follows. I respect and understand the spontaneous communications of my body. I listen to my body and I comprehend the meanings conveyed from my higher mind to my rational mind via my automatic body signals. Our human body is a finely tuned instrument. It tells us at all times just how aligned we are with our purpose and with the universe. When we notice discomfort in our bodies, it is helpful to look for ways we are withholding love and express it. Learn to read your body consistently, for it reveals the state of your consciousness. Quite a profound universal principle if applied. I'd like to just go through and break it up just a little bit, hopefully to help some people understand the deeper meanings here. I respect and understand the spontaneous communications of my body. To begin with, we should use Dr. Daniel Siegel's definition of mind to help you better understand how this happens. Mind, an embodied process that regulates the flow of energy and information. Key words: embodied process. There is no way to divide the thought process from physical processes. Every thought creates a biochemical reality which expresses the thought. Meaning that every thought or emotion has a physical response or a physical indicator. I listen to my body and I comprehend the meanings conveyed from my higher mind to my rational mind via my automatic body signals. The higher mind is the realm of intuition, the soul realm of wholeness. Communicating with the higher mind means to communicate with the part of yourself that is not afraid, that does not have neediness, that has a circumferential or a whole view of itself. Consciousness at the level of the higher mind is not obstructed by what we will call ego imprisonment. It's where we can access the truth of ourselves at any time if we're willing to step out of our story and hold still and breathe and ask for guidance to what is optimal for everybody involved, which takes quite a bit of growth and development at the ego level to be able to do that willingly, because the ego is constantly afraid it's not going to get its way, which can lead to problems in your health and your relationships, which are fine because that's how we grow. Our human body is a finely tuned instrument. Rudolf Steiner said many, many years ago, probably in the early 1900s, that the human being would continue to invent technologies which were actually expressions of the technology contained within us, and we would continue to invent external expressions of these technologies until we realize that everything that we've created outside of us is an expression of what's inside of us. And he suggested that we need to come to that conclusion fairly quickly, because we may destroy the planet trying to externalize ourselves before we realize, more like East Indians in this regard, that we have what we're looking for inside of us. and then we won't need to ruin nature to figure ourselves out, so that would be fun. Point being is the human body is a finely tuned instrument. It expresses your thoughts and emotions accurately to you. It tells us at all times just how aligned we are with our purpose and with the universe. When we're aligned with our purpose in the universe, we have a sense of ease and a sense of comfort of knowing that we could make it through the challenges that are natural to any legitimate growth and development process, being it starting a new business, a relationship with somebody you love, friendships, teamwork. Those are all relevant to being aligned with our purpose in the universe. When we're off purpose, it feels arduous. We're dragging to get through the day, and that is the cause of a lot of ill health and disease. When we notice discomfort in our bodies, it is helpful to look for ways we are withholding love and express it. That's a profound statement in itself. Any of you watching this video that has any kind of a health problem right now, if you hold real still and relax, put your hand over wherever it is that you feel your challenge lies, and connect to what you're holding there. Think of what people's names come up. Think of what emotions come up. Think of what food, diet, lifestyle, or drug habits come up. And then by connecting to that part of yourself, you can find where you're withholding love. For example, if you're eating junk food and you know it, and you know you shouldn't be doing it, then you know that you're also traumatizing your body. Therefore, you're withholding love from yourself. The question is, do I run to a doctor and get more pills to treat the symptoms, or do I hold still, or as Laird Hamilton says, stand under a very tall tree until I realize where I'm withholding the love from myself or others? Now, the words are simple, but the practice really takes you into a state of having to be honest. And if we're not honest with ourselves, we can't heal effectively. And if we're not honest with ourselves, we can't be honest with anybody that's helping us heal. And therefore, we usually stay in our crisis until we get clear and honest with ourselves, which heals much of the relationships that we're in and begins the healing process, not only for ourselves, but for everybody involved. Learn to read your body consistently, for it reveals the state of your consciousness. Thus, the definition: mind, an embodied process that regulates the flow of energy and information. Daniel Siegel, MD. So when we hear read your body consistently, for it reveals the state of your consciousness, just as happy thoughts create happy chemicals and happy emotions and happy experiences, judgmental thoughts, grumpy thoughts, angry thoughts, woulda, shoulda, coulda, didn't, those all express themselves as division within ourselves. And whenever the body becomes divided, for example, if you're holding anger towards somebody here, and you bury that toward your father, your mother, your aunt, your uncle, your neighbor, your boss, you wall that anger off in general so you don't have to feel it all day. But because we're angry at someone, paradoxically, we don't want to let go of it. It's our way of making sure that we protect ourselves from that person, or maintain the disposition that makes sure that they know that we are upset with them and they're not going to get away with that again. But in the meantime, we create a part of ourselves that we don't want to fully inhabit because there's pain there. And this is what Arnold Patent means when he says many of these problems are from withholding love. The paradox is the people we hate the most are part of the world, and they're part of us. And we can go a long ways by remembering that you don't have to like people that are challenging to you, but it is important to love them. And I teach my patients with health challenges and diseases to learn to love someone at a safe distance. So what does that mean? It means if you have a challenging relationship with your mother, your father, or somebody like that, express love to them in the way that you can. If you want to write a letter to them that helps you heal a pain inside of yourself, but you feel that that letter may cause more pain than good, then write the letter, put it in an envelope, and then just place it in a bowl and let it sit, and send your healing intention as you would send prayer, or if If you don't believe in prayer, then your own healing intention works within yourself, and you don't have to know whether it's working or not. You know that you've begun the healing process in yourself. If the closest you can get to someone safely is a phone call, use a phone call. Know that the process is to learn to love somebody, and that most of what we don't like about another person paradoxically reflects what we don't like about ourselves. And as we learn to grow and heal, and we mature as human beings, instead of over-investing in what we don't like about the other person, we become brave enough to ask ourselves, what is it about that person that I don't like about myself? If I blame them for talking too much, do I talk too much? If I blame them for being jealous, am I jealous? Etc. This is the process of spiritual growth and development. And trust Paul CHEK when he tells you weightlifting in the gym or even lifting stones is child's play compared to the true, honest, self-centered, love-based, clarity-based work that equates to true spiritual development. Ultimately, it is true that we must love thy enemy as thyself. And as I said, that doesn't mean you got to run up and hug and kiss them. It does mean you need to, or should, or have the opportunity to heal that part of yourself that creates a disconnect from that person. But again, it doesn't mean you have to go hang out with them. It just means that you need to create space for that person inside yourself that's healthy enough that you can inhabit all parts of your body. Because if you're holding disgruntled feelings or separation or anger in your body, as I said, you will not inhabit that part of your body. And when you do not infuse every cell of your body with the consciousness that is congruent with your dream and your purpose, then you leave areas of your body unattended and without the overarching principle of guidance from your own mind and your own emotions. Those cells are left to grow in the milieu that you've created, in the chemistry that reflects the emotion locked there. Anger does not create the same chemistry in your body as joy, happiness, peace, etc. Resentment, all those things. So just as you must have the right composition of soil and water and air and sun to get a plant to grow, if you depart from living in a part of your body to avoid being one with yourself due to the inability to love what you're separating from, those cells become like plants growing in toxic soil. And because there is a walling off emotionally, there's muscle constriction and a decrease in blood supply to that area, which makes healing those tissues challenging under any circumstance. So in conclusion, mind is an embodied process that regulates the flow of energy and information. Pain in our bodies is usually from withholding love. The first person to heal is yourself. You don't have to love, or you don't have to like your challenges, your challenging people, but it is important to learn to love them. And if you can't learn to love them, then work on loving yourself first, because when you feel safe, home, and whole, you'll find that those problems don't look near as big or challenging, and that the world seems to be a much more beautiful place. Thanks for joining me today. I'll look forward to sharing with you again as soon as I can, out of my love. I'm Paul CHEK.